critical mass that we so need now is just so important. And I don't remember who suggested that we do this event together, but my immediate reaction was, this is a great idea. I've done fundraisers for the Alliance, and it's such a thrill to be able to be doing it together. I guess I'm up here to talk about natural capitalism, though. This is a group that is now headquartered in the beautiful little burg of Hygiene. We were over here in El Dorado, but we are in the Boulder Valley. Part of the work that we do is local, working with the citizens who came together when it became apparent that Boulder's carbon emissions were growing, not decreasing. And we realized that the Boulder Valley has some of the world-reigning experts on energy policy. Alison Burchell is here, Barbara Farhar is here, and some of them are in this room, let alone in the Boulder Valley. NCAR is here. If we can't do it in Boulder, folks. We're working with David Johnston of What's Working, trying to pull together the critical mass to make Boulder the center of the conversation about how we achieve green. Sandy Butterfield works at NREL. And I just go on and on and on about people who are here in this room. Steve Sheath, I was just down in Tucson at SRI in the Rockies, talking about the role of socially responsible investing. And the week before I went down to SRI, I was with Will Tour with a fundraiser. There's so many good groups here in Boulder. We've got to be able to do it here. The folks here on Shanahan Ridge, the Newlands neighborhood, all of the efforts. This has to work. And many of you in this room have been critical in that. We are completing a tool at Natural Capitalism. Toby, where are you?
I'm over here, by the bar.
Toby, Steve, where are you?
Here.
Steve Wilton. We're a group of us that are pulling together a web-based learning tool that will enable small businesses to cut their carbon emissions profitably. We've been talking with Andre about doing this. Pulling together local businesses to demonstrate that climate protection is profitable. We have a very narrow window of opportunity. I'll be, what month is this? This is November, yeah? Yeah. Sorry, this has been a bit of a fast fall. Next month, I'll be in Copenhagen for the COP15 meeting. Don't get your hopes too high. I have a bet with the Danish energy minister on Danish national television. I bet her a bottle of whiskey that Copenhagen would fail. Ooh. And Paul was in Copenhagen last month, and she's apparently going around reiterating this bet. So I'm going around giving speeches saying, come on, y'all, you have to help me lose a bottle of whiskey. Time is very, very short. And we've really got to pull together to insist that the United States go to Copenhagen with a real action on climate protection. That said, whatever we do in Copenhagen is only the beginning. It's what we do in Boulder. It's what we do in Colorado. It's what we do in each of our daily lives. What we do at Natural Capitalism is provide people the tools, locally, in the state, nationally, and globally. Emily, where are you?
Oh, I'm back there.
Emily Evans is an engineer on our staff. Last summer, she and I spent the summer writing a new book that will come out, I hope, this spring, co-published by the United Nations, on transforming industry in Asia, that laid out the business case for implementing sustainability in Asian businesses. Any of you read the Tom Friedman piece? In fact, there were two of them, Sputnik and then Have a Nice Day. Asia's moving. They actually are well ahead of us in many respects. In renewable energy, China this year at the 11th Party Congress put in place an industrial policy for a circular economy. Industrial ecology. The Japanese have a national industrial policy, zero waste. The South Koreans' entire stimulus package is called the Green New Deal. And in the last couple of days, I've been trying to get out to the press a story that General Motors, which you and I now, in theory, has reneged on taking back the old cars that have mercury switches in them. Now, they turned that around. They said, oh, okay, old GM will take those switches back, but old GM's due to go out of business. How about new GM? We need to fundamentally rethink how we do economics, how we run our economy. And this is part of the work that we're doing at Natural Capitalism. In the last 2 or 3 months, I've been at a series of conferences trying to rethink the economy. Did any of you notice in October a little bit in the Financial Times about the President of France announcing that they are going to change the basis on which they do national accounts from gross national product to gross national happiness? This is the result of a 2-year study run by the Nobel laureate Joseph Stiglitz. This effort to fundamentally rethink what capitalism is, how we do our national accounts, how we do economic development at the local level, so that we embed sustainability throughout all of how we do business. And this summer, a man named Jonathan Porritt, who's a member of Parliament in the UK, runs Forum for the Future, came out with a little analysis based on the work of the chief scientist of the UK, who pointed out that the financial collapse is in large part because of the fundamental unsustainability of the way that we do business. And so if we win, if we solve the economic problem, you know, the recession is over, right? The recovery is here.
Sure. Yeah. Missing a compliment.
If that's true, we have just put back in place the conditions for the next collapse. Because this country was borrowing $2 billion a day, largely from China, to buy oil from people who don't like us, to pour into inefficient cars. If we go on with our fundamental unsustainability, we will just collapse again, perhaps harder. So we really need to rethink everything about how we do business. And that's what underpins all of the work that we do at Natural Capitalism. This fall, Paul did a report on the economics of shutting down existing coal plants, showing that if you have a brand new, bright, shiny coal plant, oh, gee, we have one of those in Colorado. It's cost effective to shut it down and implement efficiency. And this report will be released
as soon as the Hopi and Navajo finish the dispute with the Sierra Club.
well...